Hello everyone, welcome back for another day of the Mania 7 Key World Cup 2024. We're in the round of 24, the very first week of matches. So far, I believe we've only had 2 matches so far, so this would be the third one coming in for the weekend. Still plenty left over. I am Potassium F commentating alongside Mifa. How are you doing?
Hello. We're entering the second day of matches, and actually we kind of have a bit of a marathon going on because not only we got this match, we also have like another match in like around 30 minutes, and then the rest are just all she wrote for the matches coming up next. I believe we have like around 6 matches today, so I believe this is the first one we're going to be seeing today.
Yeah, quite a few we've got in a row, of course, it being Sunday evening for most time zones. I think some time zones. It's Monday for me right now, so weekend's already over. But anyway, we've got what I think is probably the most interesting matchup of all of the round of 24. We can see it on the screen here. Seed number 16 versus seed number 17. Can't get any closer than that between the Netherlands and Taiwan here.
Yeah, middle of the bunch of the seed. This is technically just the middle seeds, just fighting for their lives essentially. But interesting to note that one of these teams don't even have like 4-player roster. They just stick with the 2 and 3 player team there.
Yeah,
I believe it's probably the first time I've seen.
Yeah, I think Outlasted for Netherlands only played in stage 4, so like the coordination pick. But other than that, it is the same 2 players on the Netherlands. Freak and Tyronix playing most of the maps, I believe. And also, just to note as well, not only are they close in seed, but almost every single stage, all of the 8 stages in the qualifiers, these 2 teams were right next to each other within a few thousand points of virtually every single stage. So we were having a big discussion earlier, like what do these teams even pick and ban?
And now we already see the bans are there now. We got Banca being banned by Netherlands, and we don't see April 14 yet for this today, but for Taiwan. So we're going to be seeing quite a bit of a disparity in terms of picks, and they're going for a hybrid too. Here's Silver.
Hold on a second. I was wondering what the protects were. I think the protects were accidentally skipped.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a look after once we get to see what the protects are, but I believe it shouldn't be too far off the mark from what we've discussed earlier about protects.
But yeah, I was thinking because out of all of the 8 stages, I would say the biggest gap between these 2 teams that happened in the qualifiers, and probably the reason why Netherlands is seed 16 instead of Taiwan, is the stage 4, where Netherlands did outscore Taiwan by a decent margin. So I was thinking LN1 might be something at some point for the Netherlands to try and go for if they want to protect that one, but at the same time, I feel like Netherlands themselves might not be entirely comfortable. It's a very hard type of a map to be comfortable with, even if you're very strong overall.
Oh, maybe we got a bit of a miscommunication, seems like. I believe we probably haven't seen any sort of protected picks.
Yeah.
Because so there might have been some skips, so...
I think the protects were accidentally skipped here, which means that there might be a redo of the pick and ban phase here in order.
Yeah, probably the obvious thing that the bans are pretty much apparent, so I think that's a given for the bans, but the protect by itself, it could be interesting to see how the strategy goes on.
Okay, it looks like we might just end up skipping the protects, because the teams already know what each other's bans are, so it could potentially be a little bit unfair to give protects now. I think that would be the idea behind it.
Yeah, I think at this point, even if I guess in the logistical perspective, where if you already give it the bans, the protects doesn't matter anymore, because the protected picks are essentially you cannot ban them, but given they already gave the ban, so it doesn't really matter anymore.
We'll see. But while, you know, while that's all going on, getting resolved here, I am actually extremely interested in this first pick from Taiwan because I did not expect this whatsoever, just in the meantime. Pure Silver, I did not think was going to be first picked by any team, just because it's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, it is a hybrid, and most teams, you know, aside from this match, most teams do end up in a little bit of a pick Rice or pick LN kind of mentality. So we're already getting kind of in the middle of this like mix of skill sets that is being picked out right out of the gates. Makes a lot of sense in this match since I don't think either team has an advantage in the LNs or the Rice. But at the same time, this is a map that is filled, like you can hear it in the song as well, it is filled with these really uncomfortable to act graces. And I feel like a lot of teams are going to end up struggling to maintain any kind of accuracy on a map like this.
Yeah, so given this is a little bit of a jab towards Netherlands, given their hybrids should be relatively close to within each other, but at the same time, if you exclude the fact that the qualifiers doesn't really test some sort of a gimmicky hybrid that involves a lot of snaps, this one might actually give it an inkling idea on how they would play out, because Netherlands banned Banca, and Banca is some sort of this thing in terms of pattern, except this is just hybrid in itself.
Yeah, I guess in a way it is playing into what Netherlands ended up banning, so kind of inferring some level of discomfort the Netherlands might have for kind of patterns like this, for accuracy on maps such as this. So we'll see how it works out.
I have high hopes that this would be no issues coming up from the accuracy. Maybe not for Outlasted, because maybe there's some 200s on the beginning, but shouldn't be mattering too much because the hard part isn't come out yet.
Yeah, still plenty of the map left, so a lot of time to be able to come back here. And we can already see Outlasted building up the combo as Eggtart and Hero Jeff both dropping a little bit of accuracy.
They're staying in the same area, the 99.5-ish, and Outlasted is gaining like ever so slightly, so the difference is just basically non-existent.
Oh, and Tyronix also dropping a little bit of accuracy down to the similar level as Hero Jeff. So now Taiwan looking like a tiny advantage as far as the accuracy goes here now. But right, 1,000 points.
Oh god, okay, here goes a bit some spicy patterns coming out of that, a little bit of broken patterns between courts. And so far doesn't look like it's going to trip up maybe some accuracy drops like Tyronix does. Has a few early hits there.
Yeah, and we can see accuracy kind of dropping for multiple players here. Tyronix, Hero Jeff, and Outlast are both dropping a little bit of accuracy, but Eggtart's the one that's been able to hold on to this 99.57 throughout the entire map. And that's giving a little bit of an advantage over Taiwan.
He's been pretty much staying in the 99.5 area, maybe gaining a little bit, but I guess the patterns doesn't really let itself up either.
But still 3,000 points. Oh, and we can see it shrinking a little bit, but Outlasted finds a miss.
Wow.
That's the first miss of the match here. 1/3 of the map left, and it feels like Netherlands has to rely on a miss from Taiwan coming in, but multiple more misses from Outlasted here. It's looking like that might have sealed the map here for Taiwan as we're approaching the outro.
We're approaching the outro with like about 25,000. That's already a comfortable lead at the moment, especially when Taiwan still has their 2 FCs. So the difference by itself is already big enough.
Yeah, and even with that combo advantage, they still have the accuracy advantage on the side of Taiwan. So it does look like they're going to comfortably pick up. Well, I say comfortably, but that was very close.
MCs. Oh my god, 200s.
Yeah, 200 count gaming there. Actually, interestingly enough, Netherlands had the better ratio. Both of those Netherlands players having the better ratio over the Taiwanese players, but It's those 200 counts, the 100 counts as well, and those misses. Oh, those misses were brutal for Outlasted. Without those, I think this would have been a very, very close point.
Yeah, this is already a solid point, except maybe I guess there's only this one pick that might be in Taiwan's comfort zone. So we're still in the question mark area for both of these teams that are going to go with.
Yeah, now Netherlands pick, and you would have to think, you know, the accuracy was, for the first 2/3 of that map at least, basically tied even for both teams. So I feel like if Netherlands pick something that they can comfortably combo, the both of them, then I feel like Netherlands will definitely be able to win some. It feels like it's very hard to, you know, if you were in Netherlands' shoes, I am actually not sure what they should pick. I mean, maybe if Taiwan is not as comfortable with the coordination, potentially LN3 might be something to go for. But at the same time, I feel like the coordination aspect of that is maybe not quite enough for Netherlands to really have a solid advantage on.
Actually, given Taiwan has a solid lead for Pure Silver, might be Freshness Vacation might be their go-to after this. But at the same time, Netherlands also needs to maybe play something a little bit different than the rest of the I guess the rest of the pool, because there's also Flash Dance, which is very different as a, I guess, chord slash, not quite chord jacks, but it's at the same time it's just the coordination is actually on a whole different level. Going for Carnosia.
Oh, okay. So still going with the LNs. That seems to be the plan of attack here for the Netherlands early on. So Carnosia, definitely a much different map to what we just saw. This one much more straightforward as far as the accuracy is concerned. I think the OD definitely helps in that regard as well. I believe this one's OD6.
Yeah, this is OD6. I guess the most straightforward of the LN picks that we... I guess there's only 3, but this one is the most straightforward. So the accuracy might be a kind of a bowl game for Netherlands to try to capitalize. Tyronics is also very good at ratio, these kinds of things. And we're seeing Freak instead of Outlasted now this time.
Yeah, Freak being switched in here, so we are having those two playing for the Netherlands, and of course Taiwan only has 2 players on their roster, so we are never going to be seeing any switches out from them.
Yeah, essentially because Taiwan only has a 2-player team, so it's surprising if you can swap players from Taiwan because they only have 2. So far has the early lead for Netherlands. So at this point in time, it kind of doesn't matter too much. Finance by itself is easy enough for these players to handle.
Yeah, we're seeing a very clear, at least early difference in comfort levels when it comes to the accuracy here. Hero Jeff dropping down to the 99.2, Eggtart as well 99.3. and Freak and Tyronics both performing a little bit better, although they are starting to drop in accuracy just a little bit. This score lead is not that big still.
Essentially almost the same accuracy, although Tyronics picking up the first drop here might be starting to get a little bit dangerous for the lead now.
That was the cleanest drop I've ever seen in an LN density pick. That accuracy did not budge whatsoever, and surprisingly enough, it seems like there's enough accuracy on the side of the Netherlands to keep them in the lead. Tyronics now well above that 400 common mark already. Even though this is a short map, this accuracy difference is just carrying the Netherlands through this.
Alright, no one actually budged to the whole trails on that, so all goes for the accuracy, it seems like, because Hero Jeff doesn't seem to gain that much of an accuracy. In fact, maybe dropping a fair bit. It's essentially the same accuracy all this time.
Yeah, Hero Jeff has dropped a little bit, but Egg Tart has managed to bring the accuracy back within touching distance of Freak and Tyronix here. But it's looking like it's just not enough. As we're getting towards the end of the map, nothing major happening for either teams, and despite the double FC from Taiwan's side, the superior accuracy is enough for the Netherlands to get on the board.
Yeah, it seems like that Hero Jeff's ratio does seem to be taking a little bit of a hit, because as everyone essentially is all on the 600s of the 300s, but the accuracy difference by the 200 count is it's essentially the same for Netherlands. Taiwan did suffer a little bit from that. But that's the first point we see in the Netherlands, and touching for winning on their own picks. So we're still not out of the woods in terms of unpredictableness in there.
So now it's Taiwan, and you did mention before, if Taiwan want to keep up with those hybrids, it might be an idea for them. I wonder, at some point, I do expect one of these teams to go for one of these rice picks that are up as well. Because so far we've had a very unorthodox kind of first two maps to have in a match.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that, because if we're looking at the rice picks in particular, all right, there you go. Yeah, Freshest Vacation is the next pick from Taiwan. Another hybrid.
Yeah, so the second hybrid we're seeing, Taiwan did win the first one, but whether or not I would be very confident in that first victory for Taiwan, I probably would, honestly, because that was looking like, if everyone FC'd that one, it probably would have been within a few thousand points between the two teams. So I feel like if Netherlands can hold the combo, then I feel like this is a pretty big opportunity for a breakpoint.
Yeah, given this is Pure Silver was an outlier in itself, given a 25,000 point lead over something that is pretty gimmicky with graces and stuff. This one doesn't have that much, but it's still awkward enough to the point that if you lose your focus on some of the patterns in this, especially at the last quarter of this chart, it gets a little bit spiky, and I'm kind of concerned about how Taiwan will be able to tackle them.
Okay, let's see how this one goes. Good starts for all the players. Actually, a little bit of a better start for the Netherlands. In the first 100 notes, actually. Wait, Freak, dropping a few 200s there.
Oh, actually, yeah. A bit rough. Rocky start. Not the best of starts for the Netherlands, seems like. But at this point, that's a drop, actually. A weird drop for Hero Jeff.
Yeah, never mind. It is actually a pretty good start for the Netherlands at this point, because first drop coming in very early on into the map, so it's not going to matter as much as a drop later on.
That's 100 from Tyronix there. I'm not sure what happened there, but now the lead is starting to a little bit shifted, but at the same time, Hero Jeff need to gain his accuracy even back up to the 99.1-ish now.
Yeah, Hero Jeff is gaining the accuracy. The accuracy is actually just about even between the two teams. Actually, maybe a little bit in Taiwan's favor. So as this map continues, the accuracy lead for Taiwan, if they manage to build it up a little bit more, might be enough.
That's a miss again for Freak now. Now essentially only have two FCs, one on each team, but Taiwan does have some... Well, actually, the pattern by itself is good, so I'm kind of concerned about it, but the lead is now in Taiwan, but by a slim margin.
Yeah, that miss from Freak matters a lot more than Hero Jeff's miss earlier on, because it did happen, after the 400 combo mark, as opposed to Hero Jeff. And also, on top of that, we have Egg Tart holding on to a 99.5, Tyronix dropping down a little bit during that second third of the map. So now this is a 5,000 point lead in favor of Taiwan. They just need to hold on to this combo if they want to secure this one.
5,000 into the last quarter of the chart. Essentially, you don't lose your focus right here, because the patterns gets a little bit denser, but also kind of awkward to hit. And I'm kind of concerned on what Hero Jeff is going to handle this now. especially with some accuracy drops for both teams. Essentially the same lead, maybe?
Oh, wait a second. Oh, the Freak with another miss. Just as the score was starting to shrink a little bit, Freak finds that miss, and as we're getting towards the end of the map, it looks like this is going to be another point for Thailand. Unfortunate outro miss. That last miss from Tyronix might have been absolutely tragic if Freak didn't also miss earlier.
Yeah, but regardless, it's not quite a solid point for Taiwan, especially their accuracy is kind of around the same area because the 200 count are almost in Netherlands' favor. The ratio by itself is very good for Tyronix, but the ratio needs to be worked up a little bit there for Taiwan.
Yeah, Tyronix is definitely showing up in the ratio department this match so far, holding on to, we can just see the difference here between Tyronix and Hero Jeff next to each other. That's almost half of the 300 count. So now it is 3 points in a row being won by the team that picked it. So all in all, no solid advantage for either team so far in this match, but it is Netherlands who are going to have to respond with their own pick now if they want to keep this match even. They do have one LN pick left to go for if they want to keep going through those. I think it's a fairly good call because I feel like LN2 ended up being fairly comfortable for them. Even with that one miss, they still managed to comfortably win.
Yeah, at the same time, Crush Alcohol is also the more the wild cardish of a kind of LN. You kind of don't expect most of the density comes from it. And speaking of which, there's also the Rice pick that my Netherlands could touch with, because I think there's also Luminaria, which maybe tip into the Netherlands' favor. Oh, and actually going for the last hybrid here. Interesting enough.
Okay, an interesting pick in Cosmoscape. Going for the last hybrids. Yeah, so all 3 hybrids being picked in the first 4 maps. I'm trying to think back. I don't think I've ever seen this happen before in a World Cup match where all 3 hybrids just get immediately picked out at the start. But we are seeing it. Both of these teams feeling confident with them.
Yeah, this one is, I guess, the most generic as it can be for a hybrid. But this is relatively slow, so the LNs in it might actually kind of a struggle, especially with the lower BPM. So the releases in it might actually be a little bit of a, problems for both of these teams. The accuracy by itself is fine. It's just weird.
Yeah, and honestly, at this point, seeing the 3 maps that we've seen so far, it's very hard for me to say that any pick is a bad pick for either team, because I feel like for Netherlands, it doesn't necessarily matter as much whether or not it's, Rice or LN or any kind of skill set. What matters more is whether or not Netherlands feels comfortable holding the combos and holding the accuracy, because I feel like Netherlands has had the superior accuracy, ignoring the misses so far in this match. So if Netherlands can combo through it, as you said, this one might be a little bit more of a straightforward hybrid pick. Maybe that is the strategy here to win on the accuracy side of things.
Yeah, the sharpshooting advantage for Netherlands is going to matter a lot in this match. If you miss like once or twice, you're gonna have to pray that the other player will also have some accuracy deficit that comes into it. Kind of an ominous start.
Yeah, flickering back and forth. I believe. Oh, actually, Tyronix.
Okay. Yeah, there's a 50. There might have been a slider break on the LN there.
Yeah, that was a 50 that I saw there. So accuracy still fairly high for Tyronix, but Egg Tart right now is destroying it. 99.8%, and that's keeping Taiwan well in it in the accuracy department here. We're getting a nice and easy little chord stream section here.
Yeah, some broken up chord stream that might actually get a little bit of a consistency check for all these players. But as we get into the LNs, which are also kind of aggravatingly hard to get, and Hero Jet now actually starts to tank, and now the lead is going and actually kind of shifting towards Netherlands at this point.
Yeah, look at this now. Taiwan both not faring too well on the LNs. Hero Jeff, a massive break. That all the way down to below 99%. Tyronix misses as well. I don't think that matters whatsoever. That was a monumentally large accuracy drop. And now Egg-Tart as well.
Missing now.
Okay, the misses from Tyronix earlier on in this map do not matter whatsoever when now we can see the accuracy lead well in favor of Netherlands. They still have the only full combo on Freak's side as well. This lead is looking fairly solid as we're getting into the last quarter of the map, 12k points, and it looks like it's going to keep growing as Egg-Tart is not quite at the 400 combo mark just yet.
About a solid 13,000 point lead. At this point, we're going to more the LN stuff here. Kinda concerned because anything can happen here.
But I think Netherlands can afford a couple of misses even, as long as they keep the accuracy intact. If they stay above that, 99% range, they should still have this accuracy advantage.
Tyronix, there's a drop there. Not sure what happens here.
Finds a miss, a little bit of act drop, but it looks like there's not enough time. 3,000 points in the end. I spoke maybe a little bit too soon, but it's all safe at the end for the Netherlands. They managed to win it out despite some back and forth misses, and it's all on Freak. We can see 978k, the only FC in the whole lobby, was what really put Netherlands ahead.
Coming in clutch with the full combo on Cosmos game, no less. And I already calculated that and once we get into the middle section, Netherlands already had like 13,000 point lead, and now it's shrunk to almost 4,000 now. And it's just on one singular drop from Tyronix there that is pretty much kind of, it's scary enough to the point that it could actually lose the point.
Yeah, we're seeing some big score swings here, and that can definitely happen when we're having maps with lower note counts than we might usually see for some of the later rounds of the World Cup. But right now, Taiwan, okay, this is interesting because we've got Taiwan now picking the last LN pick. Both of these teams just hate rice, apparently.
Yeah, well,
big noodle fan.
Yeah, okay, so, I guess that's kind of the trend for 7Key in general. They don't like playing hard rice. They like playing LNs because the density is justified enough to be played. It's kind of easy in itself. You would agree because you're an LN player on the 7Key. I also play on LNs on the 7Key. And rice is the worst thing that you can actually practice on.
Yeah, but this is an interesting pick as well because I feel like, Netherlands and LN2 definitely prove that they do perhaps have a bit of a comfort advantage against Taiwan. And also on the map that we just saw on Hybrid 1, I feel like it was the LN sections that really put Netherlands ahead in the first place of that map. So I am not entirely sure about this pick from Taiwan, but we'll have to see. They're going to have to show why they are so confident picking this this early on into the match.
Also, shoutouts to Malt having an easier difficulty being picked on that tournament, but this is essentially harder. Has a lot going on into it because as makes LN go, this has a lot to offer.
Yeah, all players off to a fairly good start. We're not seeing any large accuracy drops, so both teams staying very, very close to each other overall. Less than 1,000 points.
Tyronix. That's a drop there.
That's with the first miss. Everyone else dropping. Actually,
Egg-Tart. And actually, Tyronix is actually trading that out. What I'm noticing is that Egg-Tart doesn't really like to play those ascending and descending court with the shield on the LNs there.
But after the dust settles a little bit, it is Taiwan out with a 5,000 point lead. That miss from Egg-Tart could have been the opportunity that Netherlands were looking for, but traded out. So in the end, looks like Taiwan with a little bit of an accuracy lead and also one miss in their favor. Going into the second half of the map, still plenty of time to come back from this. It's only 5,000 points.
And now we're entering to the... we're almost entering into the 3 node, 4 node core of LNs. Well, like we've seen on the other matches that we've seen so far, they don't have any other issues. But chord streamed on the, I guess, 90 BPM-ish that involves like 3 to 4 node chords is going to matter a lot on your accuracy.
And actually, look at this. The accuracy is getting closer and closer as we're seeing Hero Jeff and Eggtart dropping a little bit in accuracy while Tyronix is building back up. And this point lead is only 3,000 points now. A couple 200s might be enough to flick this, but...
Yeah, there's a bit of them. There's a bit of 200s, but by both teams here, essentially trading any kind of accuracy deficit. But Freak is actually taking quite a bit there. A lot of 100s and 200s on that side.
And at the end, it looks like it favors Taiwan just a little bit. 7,000, 8,000 points now in the lead. And we're towards the outro. Still a little bit to play through, but Taiwan just looking to hold on to these combos mostly. They still have that combo advantage. So as long as they keep it up for the rest of the map, and it looks like they're going to manage to hold on.
They're going to manage to hold on by essentially almost 10,000 point lead just by purely on the mistake on the 200 count. And Tyronix with a 450, well, I guess 4 slider breaks in total, even though with a better ratio, overall. I guess it's close enough for the other 2 Taiwanese players, but Freak is suffering on that ratio now.
Yeah, Freak and Hero Jeff both coming up with the full combos, but actually the players that missed didn't really have lower scores at all than the full combo players.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Eggtart and Tyronix both with the misses, but their scores are pretty much the same as their teammates.
Freak with an SC is worse than Tyronix 5 slider break run. That's insane. Now essentially Taiwan still has the ball going for them, and they won all their own picks. And Netherlands will have to win their own pick unless Taiwan will get to a guaranteed tiebreaker at this point.
Yeah, and now, interestingly enough, there are only rice maps left. Yeah, and I do think, if I remember correctly, was it Netherlands that had the better Stage 2 score?
Netherlands did have a better stage score by about quite a bit actually, like about 30,000, 40,000-ish.
It was a decent enough amount maybe to warrant them going for it, but for now it looks like they're not going to. They're going to go for the chord stream pick instead. Now, this is one that we don't have a huge amount of information on in particular, because even though there was a chord stream map in the qualifiers, that is not very comparable here. This is
that's a miles harder.
This is much easier. This is going to be way more of an pure accuracy test, whereas the qualifier was much more of a consistency, a stamina test in that regard.
Yeah, it's more of a speedier chord stream. This one is slower, but I guess if you watch like last year's World Cup, the 7Q 2023, there was Primatrix that was pretty much comparable to this one, except this is also still easier by a fair amount. But that kind of pattern existed in here, so we'll see what happens now. But Eggtart finally actually very early drop here.
And very bad start in terms of the accuracy from Eggtart as well. He's going to manage to bring it back up pretty quickly, but it's a bit of a sticky situation for Taiwan.
Nice, Thailand, Thailand, sure.
But dropping down that early, this is a map, as I said before, this is going to be a bit of an accuracy battle, and we can see that overall, these accuracies are fairly high on average. Tyronix in particular, 99.8%. Even though Eggtart managing to catch up to 99%, it's still a while away before they are able to really catch up with the other 3 scores.
Oh, actually quite a bit of an accuracy drop there by Eggtart there, going from the 99.3 to 99.1. And now it's all full steam ahead for Netherlands here, with accuracy by Tyronix is 0.3% better than everyone else.
Yeah, everyone's starting to drop a little bit of AC here from Freak and Hero Jeff in particular, but you're right. Oh, Freak actually finding a miss. That might be big. Actually still has the accuracy advantage on Netherlands' side, but I don't think that is necessarily going to be enough. We can see 1,000 points.
Tyronix did drop a few 200s on their side, but again, it's like about less than a 2,000 point lead going into these court every 3/4 of the measure.
No,
But
it's
now,
enough.
it's still enough for Netherlands to by the skin of their teeth, essentially.
It's enough. Tyronics alone, the accuracy on Tyronics alone is enough to completely counteract the miss from Freak. Now, I did not think that was. I thought that was going over to Taiwan, absolutely, but no, that's what we're seeing here. Of course, there was the early miss from Eggtar. That might be playing into things a little bit. But this lead is now growing further and further out as Hero Jeff is starting to really drop the accuracy down to 99.4. Eggtart's still struggling to come back compared to the other players. And this lead we can see is just ballooning up now as Tyronics and Freak maintain these accuracies.
So nothing has really happened so far yet. They still have their own picks being won, and now it's essentially best of 3, even with Hero Jeff losing the FC at the very end there. But wow, Tyronics with 4,200 been really good ratio.
990k is very rare to see in any 7k World Cup match. But I just want to point out how tragic Taiwan's scores were. That was Eggtart missing at like the first second, Hero Jeff missing at the last second.
Yeah, we're seeing a theme here.
It's unfortunate there for Taiwan, but ultimately would not have mattered anyway with the accuracy, I believe, from the Netherlands. So it is so far 3-3. We have both teams. They're going to get 1 pick each. They can only pick Rice because that's all that's left.
That's all that's left. They're going to go with either speed or the harder-ish mixed pick, or the court jack, which is essentially the worst thing that you can pick from the 3 picks.
I think that would Netherlands go for the court jack?
I think Netherlands should save Luminaria there. Taiwan
actually,
to pick on Flash Dance. Oh, actually, they're going for the harder ones.
Yeah, no, actually, this makes a lot of sense to me. I feel like Netherlands probably should pick Rice 1. And Thailand picking Rice 5 makes a lot of sense to me here. Rice 5 being, I would say, probably the most physically demanding Rice map in the pool here. And I think that kind of makes sense given what we've seen out of Taiwan, maybe struggling a little bit more with the accuracy side of things, right?
Yeah, so I mean, this is straightforward. So that's the saving grace that Netherlands can and take this point off of Taiwan because of that kind of the vibe from this pick. But you're prone to more misses if you sharpshoot way too hard on this.
But yeah, that's exactly what Taiwan is kind of aiming for right now, because they have won all their points so far off of misses. So them picking like the relatively harder map of the pool, that is looking for misses coming out, and we can see Freak very early miss on these mini jacks, catching him off guard here. That's going to give Taiwan a little bit of an early lead. But that said, the accuracies on Hero Jeff and Freak both suffering right now.
This is actually the speedier section, which Netherlands should have the aim for this, but at the same, we're seeing quite a bit of drops from Freak mostly, because the Hero Jet did tank a fair bit, but managed to get a grip on that.
Eggtart drops a fair amount of accuracy as well, down from 99.6, while Tyronics is still holding it. Never mind.
A
little bit of backdrop from Tyronics there. But Eggtart finds a miss.
Okay,
and that might be enough.
This makes some things interesting, because the lead is going to shift to Netherlands just by a fair bit, but Freak needs to get his accuracy back up.
Is it though? Is it really? Why is it still like this? Why is the score always just...
Oh, that's a 200 from Freak there. Alright, most of the graces here. This is what Netherlands should capitalize on, because this is the more of the speedier side of section. But Hero Jeff now with a drop there. Oh my god, the Tyronics as well. There's there's only one FC is on the Freak side.
No, Freak missed at the very start. There's no FCs left, and Eggtart finds another miss. That's 2 misses for Taiwan in that trade. That's going to give Netherlands a bit of an advantage now. 8,000 points, looking like it's shrinking a little bit though, as the accuracies drop a little bit on Netherlands' side. Both Hero Jeff and Eggtart on the same accuracy now. They're going to have to try and bring it up as high as they can in the last quarter of the map.
Yeah, still essentially what could be like Tyronic's full all speed ahead on that kind of accuracy, and Hirajeff taking another mistake.
All these misses are really adding up. I feel like the accuracy advantage now also in Netherlands' favor because of those misses, and Freak managing to build up the accuracy back again. And Tyronix holding on with this accuracy once again. Egg Tart with another miss. It feels like that is just going to be it. The very first break point of the entire match happening at the most important moment.
Most crucial thing is that Tyronix is way leagues above everyone else in the lobby with that kind of ratio. And that explains on why Netherlands is very good at sharpshooting these kinds of things. And that saves the trouble for Frick there.
Yeah, and I was saying, Taiwan was winning all of these points because of the misses, but this time it worked the other way. It was Taiwan finding the repeated misses, but Netherlands only one miss apiece for their players and also keeping that accuracy intact. And now this is going to be the last pick of the match. Netherlands get their own pick on match point. They have a pretty rough choice, though, to be fair. They have only 2 maps they can choose from. And Taiwan...
Oh, there you go. Yep. No wasting time. Going for Luminaria, which to be expected.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think the Quad Jack, especially on an early round, is way too risky, especially, since it is a map that I feel like all the players are going to get really strong accuracies on. This is one where, since it is a kind of speed pick, there might be a chance that Taiwan is not very comfortable maintaining good accuracy on it. I think that's why Netherlands might have a bit of an advantage here.
Yeah, but I guess the speed by itself is still slower enough that Taiwan might not suffer much of the damage coming from it. So it's still a bit of a gamble, but I guess this is the better pick of the two. So Netherlands will have to see if they can secure this point off from Taiwan here, and essentially can take the win from this match. Going for mirror this time for Hirajeff.
A bit of a rough start for all the players, actually. Finding a lot of 200s on the early parts.
Oh, that's quite a bit there. Wow. Okay, yeah. This is kind of weird to see none of them at the 99s. Oh, freak!
Yeah, Tyronix actually the only one above 99% and just barely. But that miss from Freak is going to give Taiwan a very early lead as all the players are going to try to build back up above 99, but we're still seeing 200s coming in from a few players. Tyronix went out with a miss, actually.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm not too sure because there's still quite a bit of material to go in this chart. And the saving grace that we haven't seen the ending for the last quarter of it now. And we're all at 99 territory.
Yeah, I will see that.
Oh my god!
Another miss. That's looking a little bit dangerous for the Netherlands. I was going to say, I feel like even though there's been a few misses for the Netherlands, if Netherlands can hold on to the combo and build up this accuracy, I think they could still take back the lead, because we can see Tyronix is still above everyone else in terms of accuracy, and that could give them an advantage as the map goes on, but they have to hold on to the combos for that.
Oh no, Hirajeff taking the first drop here. So it's still not enough given the highest accuracy, and both of them are from Taiwan now.
Both Taiwanese players are down, and all that lead is shrinking so fast. It's going to take a while for these two players to get above 400 combo as well. I feel like this lead might just evaporate as we're getting into the last quarter of the map now. Accuracy advantage very slightly in Netherlands' favor.
Still out of the 400 coming from Taiwan, so the lead is going to share to Netherlands, but freak, another mistake there. And I feel like there's not much else left in the chart now.
Yeah, there's not much left to be played here. 10,000 point lead, but we've seen how quickly these point swings can go.
We're coming into the end here.
Hold onto the combo, but no, Egg Tart finds a miss. I don't think it's going to be enough.
It's not going to be enough, and we're now seeing the tiebreaker for this first match of day 2 of this week.
Oh my god, we're going all the way here. Taiwan clutching it right back after the first breakpoint happened one map earlier. And now into the tiebreaker for the
We
first time this
honestly
weekend.
don't have any idea on where this would tip over. So this is a wild ride. Prepare your seats because this is a 6-minute tiebreaker.
Well, we have seen both teams win on hybrids. We've seen both teams win on LN, and we've seen both teams win on Rice. So, as we kind of predicted at the start, this match has been very unpredictable. The kind of skill sets that each team has had is very minimal. I don't think either team has particular advantages against each other. Although I will say that I think Netherlands overall, Tyronix in particular, might be the person to watch if we're looking at the accuracy. And in long maps, accuracy does matter quite a lot.
Yeah, especially with the gauntlet of this chart. Accuracy does matter a lot, so even if you miss, you would still have to get a lot higher accuracy to compensate for that mistake. And I think this would really in favor of Netherlands if that's the case. But Taiwan really needs to get the combo game out. And I believe I think we might not see any kind of player swap here, especially with Netherlands, because there's also Outlasted that hasn't played ever since Pure Silver. So we're gonna see what happens there.
I feel like we should expect Tyronix and Freak to be the ones to play this. Makes sense given that they were the ones to play all of the hybrid maps as well in the qualifier stage, and of course, this being the tiebreaker, this one is a bit harder than some of the other maps in the pool. So maybe a little bit more in line with something like a stage 3 from the qualifiers.
Alright, we seems to be ready to go, as this is the last pick for the tiebreaker for this match. And once players are going to be ready up, there's no turning back.
Okay, Charlie, we're in the lab. The tracking index mark is the same. Roger, we copy.
Looks like both teams just taking a bit of a rest for now, a little bit of a mind reset as we're going into this map, because of course nerves are going to be at peak right now for both of these teams. After such a close match, it's all going to be decided in this last one. And you can imagine,
Yeah.
nerves can absolutely crush, because I feel like individual misses, individual accuracy drops has been what has decided pretty much all of these maps so far.
Alright, seems we got a little bit of a spook there. So now Frick should be ready to go once to see all this map in its glory.
Okay, I think everyone's in the lobby again right now. We're gonna get into it. Last map of the match. We're gonna see who is going to get sent down to the losers bracket early and who is going to move on to verse South Korea, I believe, next week.
Yep, this is going to be a wild ride after this match happens, and the winner of that will have to face the powerhouse of the team. So really give your support for both of these teams now.
Yeah, absolutely, because they definitely need it right now. So we're getting into the intro here. A little bit of a rough start here for Freak as far as the accuracy is concerned. But of course, a very long map, so nothing too significant. And there's some of these LN patterns coming in here. Players dropping in a little bit of accuracy.
Or the sporadic LNs here. No one seems to catch anything off guard here. The difference is still basically the same.
Yeah, Freaks recovered the accuracy, now matching Hero Jeff. But Tyronix has dropped a tiny bit, and Egg Tart is the one that's pulling ahead as far as the accuracy is concerned. But we can see less than 1,000 points, so this lead
Essentially
negligible.
no difference at all.
Ooh, and Hero Jeff and Egg Tart both dropping 200s in that roll. So now the lead switching over, a whopping 400 points for the Netherlands.
We're entering the first quarter and none of the lead seems to be considerable enough for them to take a breather here. Oh no, Freak with the first drop there.
First drop of the tiebreaker now. We're getting a little bit of a lead in Taiwan's favor. Of course, single drops don't mean a whole lot because that was a very clean one.
That is a very clean one. We're entering more of the LN territory and it should be on Netherlands' favor as far as ratio goes now. But at the same time, you really need to not slip at any point in these patterns.
Yeah, and look at the accuracies actually between the two teams. I feel like it's very even, but Freak finds a second miss now. And this lead is going to grow a tiny bit over to Taiwan. It was another clean one though, importantly. And Egg Tart now trading that one right back. So this is going to get a lot closer.
And another miss again by Freak there. So I guess the lead is just pretty much on Taiwan's favor at this point in time. But again, this is still the first third of this chart.
And I'm just going to note as well, despite that miss earlier from Egg Tart, this accuracy means that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Egg Tart has the highest score of the entire lobby right now. And that's the reason why Taiwan are in 4,000 point lead.
Still 4,000 point lead, but watch these LS. It's
no.
gonna rip you apart if you lose your
no.
focus on the releases.
Watch these LNs, Mifa says, right as Egg Tart unfortunately finds a miss there. It's going to take a while for that combo to reset up to 400. So Netherlands is going to be able to reclaim some of this lead. And the lead is still not very big despite the misses we've seen. And Freak.
With
Very
the drop
unfortunate.
after the transition. All still with 2 FCs on the top row, it really needs to hold on. And especially Freak, we have to combat the accuracy deficit from Egg Tart there.
But these misses have all been so clean. And also, we can look now at some of the accuracy. Hero Jeff is struggling a little bit in accuracy after that LN section. So this lead is going to stay very close.
Here comes a bit of the 1/3 core jack-ish with some elements into it that we haven't seen any player that they're playing core jacks at this point in time.
And
Egg Tart with a mistake there. There's a big mistake there.
And this lead down below 2,000 points. This is within touching distance now. We still have a third of the map. Still plenty of map left to play. 2 minutes left and 1,000 points.
Tyronix, oh my god. That's a big mistake
combo.
for Tyronix. No FC on the Netherlands side. And the only Hero Jeff is holding on very strong in this.
Yeah, Hero Jeff with the lowest accuracy, but that full combo is doing a lot of work, given that everyone else has been finding misses on some of these LN patterns in particular.
All right,
now 5,000 points.
This is the weirdest patterns in existence of this map pool, and kind of like similar to Banka-ish kind of pattern, but this is very awkward to hit, especially really awkward to ratio on.
We're seeing some 200s actually, out of Freak in particular, and Freak finding the miss as well. Now this is going to make Taiwan. This lead is growing now. It's growing to a point where they're feeling a little bit more safe. 8,000 points still recoverable from the Netherlands, but they're going to have to reduce these misses quite a lot in the outro of this map. We're still seeing Hero Jeff with the full combo. Egg Tart on the highest accuracy still of the lobby.
Alright, more of these consistent base check there, but Freak now making another mistake, and it's now ballooning up to 10,000 point lead for Taiwan here. And there's not much time left, and Taiwan is going to take this if Netherlands doesn't recover quick enough. But Egg Tart with a massive, what a big drop. Now Hero Jeff with only FC remaining is gone.
Double miss from Taiwan. That's both of their players missing. This lead shrinks by a little bit, but the accuracies are still there. Egg Tart's still ahead in the accuracy department despite the misses. So even though there's no FCs, it's still 6,000 points, and there's going to have to be another few misses you would have to think from Taiwan for this lead to really close. And I think as long as they maintain the combo, they might have just been able to do it.
It's not meant to be for the Netherlands day to be over, and looks like Taiwan is going to emerge victorious out of this tiebreaker, winning 5-4 with the heavy lifting from Hero Jeff, maintaining full combo up until the last LN section.
And we can see in such a long map as well, the ability to maintain combo for that long in the match, enough to get the MVP with the lowest accuracy as well. But Taiwan definitely pulled off a massive performance in that match, the last 2 points of that match.
Yeah, this is really what settles in for a highlight of this round. Round of 24, we already have a first tiebreaker in the third match of the entire round, and this is what we have come up with. And Taiwan is going to emerge victorious out of this one. So congratulations for Taiwan for winning this massive respect for both of these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams played extraordinarily well. Taiwan going to be versing South Korea in the winners bracket next week, whereas Netherlands will get a bye in the losers bracket. They will not be playing a match next week, but they will be playing a team to be determined in the week after. Now, also, I believe, just to get this out here, players may have been looking forward to the match between Indonesia versus France, which has been going on at the same time. That started about 30 minutes ago. But unfortunately, just as the tiebreaker just finished, so did the match between Indonesia and France, which ended in a 5-0 victory for Indonesia. So unfortunately, we are not going to be able to see the rest of that match on stream.
Yeah, so Indonesia did win pretty much a clean sweep against France 5-0. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Until we get into the next 32 minutes, there's another match coming up around the block, which is going to be Russia versus Denmark. This is also one that I'm also interested in to see how this match would play out in particular.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a few banger matches coming up here. All of these ones that you can see there, all basically in a row, 15, 16, 17, 18 UTC. So stick around because only 30 minutes away from the next one here, and we're going to be able to see a lot of hopefully close matches like the one that we just saw here. So until then, we'll see you soon.
And also, in case you didn't notice and you haven't known yet, we opened up a banner page for on the OSA store that you can purchase to support your favorite teams throughout this tournament. In 7Q World Cup 2024, just by about $250, just to support your favorite team, and the price for that, especially when your favorite team does win, they get to keep the banner up until this tournament finishes. And so pretty much with all the proceedings from that banner will also go into the prize pool as well. So do support your favorite teams. They really do need some kind of a respect for all the teams that are out there in the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you go click on that link there in the chat. Go and buy your banners if you want to support those. But other than that, I guess we can have a bit of a break, and we'll see you again in 30 minutes.
Yeah, this is Mifa and Potassium. We're signing off.